to the Rival Fantasy Sports live stream every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. EST. I am Neil. He is Brian. What's up, Brian?
What's up, everybody? Good morning.
Listen, it's another good week. Another good week ahead of us here, man.
Another good week. A lot of fun matchups
fun
happening
matchups,
today.
and a Thursday night football game that wasn't totally
Was not
trash.
terrible. Well,
It
was terrible for other reasons. The football was pretty good.
Yeah.
But
so the football was pretty good, and there's no game happening right now, right?
No, we're done with those overseas games. Now we do have a few weeks until the Saturday games start, which throws another wrinkle into
Whole
it.
new dilemma.
But no more early morning games. Our friends on the West Coast do not have to get up at 6:30 to watch football at this point.
That's what I expected, man. No Bruce today. He let me know he's not gonna make it. So no Bruce today. Just me and you, man. Just back like the old days.
Dynamic duo, yeah, just like the OGs, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Let's recap really quick the Bengals and Ravens, just because there is a lot of fantasy significant stuff from that game, especially going forward.
Yeah.
So we might as well, take that into discussion first. First of all, just the game. I mean, fantasy wise significance. Mixon had I think 100 total yards, maybe receiving and rushing. He's had a touchdown.
Doing that silent thing where he has like a top 10 year without any recognition again, because that's what Joe Mixon does. So.
Yeah, basically. So he did his thing, that thing. Chase he had a touchdown, but he only had like 2 catches, I want to say. So,
yeah, it was a pretty lean week for Ja'Marr Chase.
Yeah.
It wasn't didn't inspire a lot of confidence. But
Yeah.
we'll get into why.
We'll get into that. I want to talk about the Ravens really quick. Lamar Jackson had 264 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 54 rushing yards. So pretty good game. Gus Edwards had another 2 touchdown game. Guy just continues to roll, man.
it's like death, taxes, and Gus Edwards scoring touchdowns. Like those are the 3 certainties in life now.
It's crazy. Keaton Mitchell, didn't really do anything.
Yeah, he's like Devon Achane, right? Like he's gonna have his boom weeks, but these are the weeks that, these are probably gonna happen more often than not as defenses figure him out.
Yeah, and then Odell had a 100-yard game, 100+ yard game.
Yeah, a lot of it came on one big catch. I think he had like a 30 or 40-yard bomb that he caught, but he looked good. He's starting to not look at like his old self, but like he looks like a serviceable wide receiver.
Yeah, he's starting to really like make plays, even if they are big, 30, 40-yard touchdown, 30, 40-yard catches. Like at least it's getting him into that flex conversation, right?
Yes. So, which I didn't know if we were going to get to that point. Better late than never, I guess. But he might retire after the season, so who knows if he'll stick around long enough to be fantasy relevant again.
It's possible. And then Aguilar, Bateman, they both had touchdowns, right?
But yeah, I thought Aguilar was going to have a better game than he did. I think it was the 1 catch for 10 yards and a touchdown. So that's Bateman's been just so disappointing. He's just fallen off the face of the earth. And Nelson Aguilar is doing Nelson Aguilar things. This is just what he does. So
yeah. And then the 2 biggest headlines, the 2 biggest concerns coming out of this game was not any of these fantasy performances, but it was more 2 players that one confirmed loss for the season. I'm not sure if the other one's totally 100% confirmed yet, but
it sounds like they're both
confirmed,
done for the season.
All right, so Joe Burrow out for the season, quarterback of the Bengals, done.
Yeah.
And then Mark Andrews, tight end of the Ravens, basically one of the best tight ends in football, out for the season also. Burrow, obviously, this was like a whole controversy coming into the game that he was hurt and they weren't telling anybody.
Yeah.
And he ended up, being done for the season. And then Mark Andrews, obviously, a bunch of issues happened and he's out for the season. So, let's start with Joe Burrow for a second before we start, anything else. How does this affect the pass catchers, the offense for you? Are you now like straying away from everybody? Like, are you like Ja'Marr Chase, like, ew, everything is like, ew? Or are you like, nah, I think like, we'll still be fine. Like, how do you feel about those guys?
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. And I'm going to go a little narrative here for a second, but you have AJ McCarron as the 3rd string quarterback, and he's not great on the field as an NFL guy, but he's very cerebral. He's very smart. So you have him and Joe Burrow helping Jake Browning out, right?
Right.
I think Jake Browning is going to be fine. And not to crap on the Raiders at all, but if Aiden O'Connell can make Devontae Adams still serviceable in fantasy, I think Jake Browning showed like he's got pretty good pocket presence. He seems like he knows what he's doing out there. He came in and performed valiantly. I mean, they scored 20 points. They didn't get completely boat raced. So I think you downgrade Jamar Chase, and I think you downgrade Joe Mixon. I think T. Higgins is probably the one who takes the biggest hit right now because
Okay.
we didn't get to see them at all together.
Right.
Um, and T. Higgins has already had his issues this year. So I don't know. I could see this almost as a buy low opportunity for Jamar if your league's trade deadline hasn't passed. I might try to go get these guys if you're in contention and see if
Yeah.
you can get
Yeah. I
them
mean,
way
if you
cheaper.
could, yes. Yeah. I think that's where I agree with you. Like, if you can go get those guys, I'm not mad at it. Although I do think, like, even like, you're like Aiden O'Connell, Devontae Adams getting done. Still, there's like those struggles, right? And there's like,
Yeah, there's gonna be growing pains.
yeah.
It's
So,
gonna be rough for it's not gonna be as smooth sailing, but it's been rough with Burrow. I mean, Burrow's been banged up
yeah.
all year. So
Yeah.
we had the first 4 weeks where it wasn't pretty, and then had a good stretch, and now we're kind of back to square one.
Yeah. I think this year so far, though, I mean, Jamar Chase is probably somewhere. He's in the top 10 for sure at wide receiver.
Yeah.
We'll see how, you think he'll stay. So you're thinking that even with the new quarterback, he'll stay top 10, or do you think he's going to
I
fall?
don't know if he'll stay top 10. I think he's probably gonna end up being closer to like a high end wide receiver too.
Yeah.
And that's not anything to do with Jamar Chase. It's just I haven't seen enough of Jake Browning to know if Jamar is going to be able to, if he's going to be able to support Jamar the way
Yeah.
that Joe Burrow does. So I mean, it's kind of the Garrett Wilson situation too, right? Like we still like Garrett Wilson in a vacuum. It's just you have to downgrade him when he has Zach Wilson versus Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
Yeah.
same principle.
No,
So
I agree. Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things that I don't think you could trust him like you did, with Joe Burrow. I did throw up a poll just now. Do you trust Chase rest of the season without Burrow? I'm curious, how that'll end here. And we'll just talk really quick about Mark Andrews because we got questions already piling up like crazy over here.
Love
Shout out to everyone
it.
watching. We appreciate you guys. If you are watching, if you are dropping questions, we're gonna get to them right now. I promise you. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Hit like on this video. We really appreciate the support. And then just a quick reminder that this show is brought to you by Rival Fantasy Sports. If you don't already have the app or you're not on the website right now while we're talking, go
what
to
are
Rival
you
Fantasy.
doing?
What are you doing?
What are you
What
doing?
This is it right here. This is Rival Fantasy. You can go on there. You can play challenges like you see here in front of you. Patrick Mahomes versus Tyreek Hill. You can skip through them. Find the ones you like. Right here, $18 are on Tyreek Hill over Patrick Mahomes this week. You go on here. You click Patrick Mahomes. You put your money down. It's straight up fantasy points. It's that easy. It's a lot of fun. You can create your own social challenges if you want to, create ones to send to your friends. You see Jared Goff versus CeeDee Stroud. Like I created this. I can share it to anyone I want. And then you also have fantasy bingo. You pick a lineup. You get a card created for you. You get all these awesome achievements to hit. That's available to you. And then, of course, we offer season long if you have a league on there. It's a lot of fun. We really suggest you guys check that out. But again, that is all. Rival Fantasy is who we are brought to you by. And again, like this video, subscribe, all that good stuff, Brian. Right?
Bring it in, guys. Be a part of the community. Let's do this
really
together.
Quick. Mark Andrews, and then we'll get to these questions.
Yes.
This was unfortunate. Definitely, as we've discussed, one of the best tight ends in football. They're going to miss him. Do you think, because I two questions off of this, because these are the two that I'm focused on. Isaiah Likely, you all in?
No. I like Isaiah Likely. I think he's a great player. I don't know. Like, if you watch Lamar's press conference, he was very torn up about the Mark Andrews injury. Like that's his, they are like best friends, right? So there's also that dynamic, and that helps them perform well together. So I think Isaiah Likely is a fine replacement. You're also probably, bummed because you were strongest at tight end. Nobody went and picked up Dalton Kincaid or Trey McBride when they had Mark Andrews, right? So you're kind of scraping the waiver wire. So I think Isaiah Likely is a fine pickup if you don't have anyone else on the waivers. But I don't know if I'm all in on him as a one-to-one replacement.
Yeah, I definitely am picking him up everywhere I can because the upside is crazy high.
Yeah, the upside is wild. He is athletic as all get out.
Yeah,
for sure.
And by the way, on that question, do you trust Chase rest of the season without Burrow? 75% right now on no. Not a lot of votes, but still 75%. So most people are shaky on him right now. Going forward. And then my other question for you is, with Mark Andrews out, do you feel really strong about any of the other playmakers on this offense getting a lot more attention, a lot more work because of this? Or do you feel like it just hurts the overall offense and it doesn't really elevate anybody per se?
I think it gives Zay Flowers a little more opportunity just because of the type of player he is. He can he can just shift into the slot and like kind of take those short and intermediate throws from Lamar. I
Right.
think it helps him, but I think this is also, Lamar talked at the beginning of the season how he wanted to throw a lot more, and they've been running the heck out of the ball. So maybe this is where defenses start stacking the box against the Ravens and say, okay, beat us through the air.
Yeah.
So I think this might be actually better for the pass defense in the overall because they're gonna have to start throwing more. If I'm an NFL defensive coordinator, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But
No, I agree. There's definitely some opportunities here. I think it does hurt them. Obviously, it's hard to, make up for that, but it does obviously open up opportunities potentially for other people.
yeah, I think like you said, I think OBJ is now very much in a flex consideration.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's Zay Flowers, it's OBJ and the running backs and Lamar, obviously. But I'm not picking up Bateman. I'm not picking up Aguilar. I think you just kind of ride the status quo.
Absolutely. And before we get to all these questions, injuries, Justin Fields back, A-Chain's back,
Yep.
Khalil Herbert's back. For those who care, all Bears running backs are actually playing today. So if you have Foreman, Johnson, Herbert, that's going to muddy the field for you guys. Madison expected to play, Lockett expected to play, Garrett Wilson expected to play, Keenan Allen expected to play. Lots of guys expected to play. I think Noah Brown's out, right, for your Titans.
Noah Brown is out, and I believe Michael Wilson has already been declared out for the Cardinals.
Justin Jefferson
is not playing tonight, so you don't have to make that decision. Damian Pierce is out, so fire up your Devin Singletaries. I think it's optimistic that both Garrett Wilson and Tyler Lockett play today. So keep an eye on it, but it sounds like they're both gonna be good to go, assuming no setbacks in warmups.
All right, so let's go ahead and get some of these questions. Let's see what we got here.
Let's do it.
First early bird gets the worm. You're in here first. 3960 AD. Chase, a top 15 wide receiver moving forward. We just kind of talked about it. I think Brian, it seems like you kind of believe he's top 15 potentially still.
I do. It's tough. I think he's right on the cusp. But yeah, I'm not gonna go against Jamar Chase.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna vote against him. So.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go against him, but I think top 15 is gonna be tough.
I think that's a good line. I think I think 15 to 20, with the floor being like top 25.
I'm feeling like now top 15 is like best case scenario.
Yes,
it's kind of where I'm at. So
yeah, he's not gonna finish, top 10. Like
no,
he's not gonna pay off for the draft price. But
yeah,
I mean, you can't predict injuries,
right? So. And then he's asking an awesome question here. After that, he says select 2: A-Chain, Brian Robinson, Aaron Jones, Pollard. That's an amazing set of group of running backs there. Now we just mentioned A-Chain is back. Brian Robinson has a great matchup this week. He's been on fire. He said I think he's had 2 number. I looked this up. He had 2 running back 1 week so far this season, which is kind of surprising to me. Like I did not expect that coming into the season that was going to be the case, but that's.
He's made some big old splash plays, so I mean it makes sense. But yeah, in a vacuum, nobody saw that coming.
Yeah, and then Aaron Jones, he's back. He's been pretty decent. Yeah. And then of course Pollard's had his struggles. We all know his upside. We all know his capability, but he has had some struggles. And so these are the guys he's asking about today. Are you trusting A-Chain out the gate?
I'm not with this running back room in particular.
Yeah.
You don't need to, I don't think. Sounds like he's in pretty good shape. I'm probably going to go Robinson and Pollard. If Pollard doesn't do it today, then I'm benching him. Like, I'm not dropping Tony Pollard. I'm not going to sell him for pennies on the dollar, but my Lord, if he can't get it together today against the Cardinals, then what's the point?
Yeah.
So yeah, give me Robinson and Pollard today.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually with you on that. And I don't like to.
Panthers. They're playing the Panthers, not the Cardinals.
I don't like to say the same thing as you, man. I don't like when we agree, all the time. But
yes, you do. You secretly
on this first question of the day, I'm agreeing with you because I do think that Aaron Jones has Chargers are an underrated matchup for defense. Yeah. They're not the greatest matchup, and he has been like inconsistent, right? Since he got back, it's like 9 points, and he goes up for a lot, and he's like back down to 9 points, and so like I'm not going to take that chance against that defense. Like you said. Good matchups for Pollard against Carolina, and then even Brian Robinson's matchup is great against the Giants. So A-Chain, I'd rather wait and see. Again, he could pop off. He could go crazy if you want to take that risk and gamble on it. For sure, go for it. Like I'm not gonna tell you not to, but it wouldn't be my move. It would not be my decision to go that route. So I'm with you on this one. Brian Robinson and Pollard are the safer bets.
And just one last point on Brian Robinson. Antonio Gibson's probably out today, so. I don't know who's the third running back in that room right now, but that probably just means Brian Robinson is going to get all of the work.
Yeah, and let me ask you this: if you don't want Pollard, right? Say you're like, I'm tired of rolling
Yeah.
the dice on him. He's had 3 or 4 weeks in a row under 10 fantasy points. Would you go A Chain or would you go Jones?
Man, it's tough because I trust Aaron Jones as a player more, but A Chain's
Mhm.
got that pop. Um, and the Packers are playing the Chargers, like you said. Who else? The Dolphins are playing the Raiders. Yeah, you know what? I'd probably full send on A Chain. I think they activated him for a reason. So if you're not going to do Pollard, I'd go A Chain over Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, it's one of those situations. You want the risk. You want the risk and reward, or do you want to play it safe? You feel like you don't need that much. You don't need to go off crazy to beat your opponent. Then Aaron Jones is probably fine. But like, if you feel like you need to overcome a ton of stuff, or you're gonna have a tough matchup ahead of you, then maybe A Chain is worth the gamble for you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you for that question. He also said top 5 tight ends rest of season. Obviously, Andrews is out of the equation now.
Yep.
So what do you got? Like
I think
Kelsey?
it's Kelsey, Hawkinson, Laporta, McBride, and Kincaid, probably.
Okay.
I think
Let me tell you,
you could
it,
maybe say Dalton Schultz if that keeps if what keeps up in Houston keeps going. Ferguson is in the conversation just because of his consistency.
mhm.
But I'm not putting Kittle up there. I'm not putting Evan Engram up there. So I think I think it's Kelsey, Hawkinson, Laporta, Kincaid, McBride.
Gotcha. If I'm looking at this correctly, last 3 games played, the order they're going in is Hawkinson, Kittle, Kelsey, McBride, Komet. Does that surprise
Okay.
you at all?
It does surprise me. And I think the Kittle and the Komet especially are very touchdown dependent right
Yeah.
now. So it makes sense. I mean, they're great touch. I always forget about Cole Komet, and Justin Fields is back. So I still wouldn't put him in the top 5. I
Hmm.
don't think. But he's a great if he's on your waivers and you lost Mark Andrews, that's a great plug and play option.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still think McBride is very obviously Kyler's favorite target now. So I feel comfortable with that. Sam Laporta is already just a revelation at
Yeah.
the position, and Kincaid's the only one who can catch the ball from Josh Allen. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, it's Kelsey, Hawkinson, Laporta, Kincaid. I don't want to say Kittle, man, just because of the injuries that he always gets into, but he has been on fire lately. I mean, Schultz has been doing good too, man.
yeah,
Your
this
boy.
is like one of the weird years where we actually have a decent crew of tight ends across
Yeah.
the board.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
fifth is open, man. It could be
Yeah.
Kittle, it could be McBride, it could be Schultz. There's a bunch of guys there, but I think those 4 feel pretty solid to me.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the question, 3960AD. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the show. Also, guys, don't forget to hit like on the episode. We really appreciate that. Helps us get out there to the people. We want more people in this chat. Next question from Jay. Tank Dell, McLaurin, Puka, start 1. And he said, go Cowboys.
Oof. Well, the Cowboys fans not going to like my answer, but it's McLaurin. It's McLaurin for sure. I think.
You think it's McLaurin?
I mean, he's the better player. But then, okay, you have to take into the account the matchup, right? Of it's the Giants. Like, are the Giants going to be able to keep up enough where they
How about
need
the
to
fact?
throw?
Okay, so I could like take Puka out of this for me. Like Stafford's coming back, I get it, but like I want to see how he does.
Yeah.
Is Cup gonna dominate it all? But for me, it's like, dude, Tank Dell the last 2 weeks, 30 points, 19 points.
Yeah.
Stroud's been just a boss, right? Like literally we were going from like rookie of the year conversation to like people were like, is he the MVP of the season?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and they got a good matchup. The Cardinals are a great matchup.
Yeah.
So
and it's going to be a little more competitive because Kyler's back. So
yeah. And maybe that the Giants game. What if it's not competitive, right? Like what if they
that's my biggest concern. Yeah, my concern is that Brian Robinson's going to have like 200 yards on the ground because he's going to get like 25 carries.
Yeah.
And McLaurin's going to have like 3 targets all game.
Right. So you're still going McLaurin over.
It is very close. I'll say point counterpoint to Tank Dell is Nico is back this week, and I know 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago now against the Bucks, like they all went off. Like I totally understand that. I just they may not have to do that today. So I think I'll just go with the wide receiver 1 in the offense just to make this decision. So I'll go with McLaurin. Hope he falls into the end zone in the first half and that they don't completely blow out the Giants.
Gotcha. I'm gonna go Dell. I'm gonna go with your Texan, man. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go Tank Dell. See him go off again, man. I'm gonna keep riding the hot hand till it's not
Yeah.
hot no more. You know what
No,
I'm saying?
trust me, I don't love picking against Tank Dell, but
Yeah.
I also just love Terry. So
Bruce in the chat though. He couldn't make the show. He's in the chat. He said Puka.
come on,
He
get
said
out of here with
Puka.
that.
If he was here right now,
He's
he'd be
backseat
money-
driving from
Yeah,
the
come
comment
on.
section. Okay,
Come
from the
on.
chat. Come on.
Also, Jay said Montgomery or D Hop flex. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I'll go Montgomery. I mean, I guess we don't know if it's PPR or not. But
Yeah.
I guess I'd lean standard half PPR Montgomery, maybe PPR. We go D Hop.
Yeah, Montgomery's playing the Bears.
Yes.
Hopkins is the Jags.
Yes.
So I mean, they're pretty close, probably if you're actually thinking about it. But I would likely. I mean, I don't know. D Hop had a pretty good week still too last week.
Yeah, no, he's coming back, especially after I botched the. Oh, you can drop him. I said that a few weeks ago, and then he
well, not
scored
last
3
week wasn't
touchdowns.
good, but he's been okay.
Yeah, he's been fine. I just,
Yeah. I'll take Montgomery.
we
though.
saw Montgomery split pretty evenly with Gibbs, and it looked good. They
Yeah.
figured out a good system. So
Yeah, I'd go Montgomery as well.
Yeah.
Jim Coop in PPR need 1 running back, 2 wide receiver, and 1 flex. Warren, Cook, Thielen, Godwin, or D Smith. Okay, so let's see. We need 1 running back. We'll do that first.
okay,
Warren or Cook.
don't do this to me, man. Don't do this to
And
me.
don't forget, we can technically flex one of these guys. So
Yeah, that's so tough.
or we could do wide receivers first if it's easier.
Yeah,
I don't
let's
know.
do wide receivers first.
Okay,
I
okay,
think
okay.
I'm going Godwin and Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
Because Devonta Smith, remember Goddard's out now.
Yeah.
And last year when Goddard went out, Devonta Smith, that's when Devonta Smith went off.
Yeah.
So give me Devonta Smith and I'll go Chris Godwin just because I have no faith in the Panthers against the Cowboys defense.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the caveat here, right? Like, I mean, he's been okay with Bryce and everything, but they can't keep Bryce up. They're gonna get, probably bum rushed out there on the offensive line. So yeah, I mean, it makes it too risky for me. So Godwin and Smith are the easy wide receivers to choose. Then it makes it easy for us with Warren and Cook. Then we'll
Yeah,
just-
so I guess I'm starting Warren, flex Cook, or whoever has the later game.
yeah.
And then, but good. That means I can start both of my favorite running back, 2 of my favorite.
Does it
running backs.
change your mind that Cook is playing the Jets?
No. They played the Broncos last week, and he was in the doghouse after that fumble, and he still got over 100 yards total. James Cook is just, I'm sorry, he's maybe the 3rd best player on the Bills, and they're just, it is infuriating what they're not doing with him.
Yeah.
So yeah, start James Cook, even if it's just begrudgingly, because he should be better and used more than he is.
Gotcha. All right, yeah, I'm with you on that as well. And by the way, Bruce is over here saying that he sent us Puka challenges versus Dell and Terry.
Okay.
Bruce just really wants to smoke today.
Yeah, man, he's a glutton for punishment. I didn't realize that he
couldn't make
wanted
the
to
show, but
lose
he's
all
over
his
here
money to
just
us.
Starting problems. Just so everyone at home right now who's watching, who's in the comments asking questions, we appreciate you guys. Don't forget, like and subscribe to this video. But when you're watching, this is a great opportunity to show you this. Rival Fantasy is what this show is all about, and Rival Fantasy has the ability to do stuff like this. See, Bruce said he sent us challenges because he hears us talking smack on here about his boy Puka right now. And so he said, let me send these guys some challenges, let them put their money where their mouth is. And so that's what this is right here. If you look at it, he sent me a Puka versus Terry challenge. He put 50 on Puka over Terry McLaurin.
I took 25 of it.
Yeah, Brian already
so-
took 25 there. And then he also sent us over a Puka versus, Puka versus Tank Dell. He put 25 on Puka. He feels a little less confident there, apparently.
Yeah.
Brian
I took
already-
that 10.
Brian already took 10. So I can just go over here, put my amount in here, whatever I want. There's 15 technically left on it. I can put 15, place the bet, and now we have a challenge going again. This is strictly fantasy points. Anyone, you guys can get on there now, sign up, use the link in the description. You get up to $200 deposit match plus $25 free voucher. You can't beat it on your first deposit. So get on there, try this out. It's the funniest thing out there, man. When you could create these challenges, create your own challenges. It's just a lot of fun. But all right, back to these questions because there's tons of them.
Love it.
Let's see here. We appreciate you guys again. If you're watching, hit that like button. We got more viewers than likes. Lots more questions than likes. I know you can fire up that like button. I know you can hit that subscribe button for me. really, really quick. We are super grateful for it.
Please, please.
Jim Coot, oh no, that's one we already answered. Debian 10 Buster 64. Hey guys, Judy or Davis, don't want to lose my $50 matchup bet. My man's out here using Rival Fantasy.
Yeah, man.
Shout
Those
out to
matchup
you.
bets do make a big difference when
They
you're
do.
making these start sit decisions.
They do.
Okay, so Jerry Judy or Gabe Davis. Man.
I like that. I like that the Broncos offense has been decent lately. You know, Russell Wilson's been out there okay. You know?
Yeah, Russ looks. I mean, he looks like a quarterback again. I think I'm gonna go Jerry Judy here.
Okay.
I mean, but you know, Gabe Davis sucked last week, so that means he probably goes off this week because that's what he does.
But he is facing the Jets.
Yeah, but you know, the question is, are the Jets going to double cover Diggs? You know, how are they going to play it? Because then if they do that, that opens it up for Davis and for Kincaid, right? So if you need upside, like if you are willing to accept the reality that Davis could get you 2 points, but he can also get you 25 points, I'll probably go Gabe Davis. But if you need floor, if you need like, I need a certain 10 points, I'm going to go Jerry Judy.
Yeah. No, he's definitely the safer option of the two for sure.
Yeah.
Davis is my boy with all the upside, but Judy is definitely.
But Davis is just so hard to trust right now.
Yeah. Also,
so tough.
Debian, which side are you on? Which are you, Judy or are you Davis? I'm just curious. Which side you got on this challenge? I want to know. Z Smitty, start Ty Chandler or Deontay at flex. So I'm super excited about Chandler. I'm not excited that Madison's probably going to play.
Yeah, he's probably back. He's probably back.
Yeah. So that
but they may pump the brakes on him. And I mean, Ty Chandler split the work with him last week before he got hurt, being Madison. So and he had more production.
Yeah,
so
I'll say for me, like, I'm not crazy about Deontay and the Steelers offense in general, but they're playing Cleveland, which again, I keep talking about this. Cleveland defense is legit. So I'm gonna stay away from Deontay. I'll roll the dice on Chandler. My thing is Chandler is like so explosive. He's such a playmaker. When you watch him run out there, he's so fast, man. I know it's football. You're like, no, they're all fast. This dude is like legitimately another level.
Yeah.
So
no, he's got that.
I'll roll the dice on Chandler. Dobbs has been really getting this offense rolling. So I'll take Chandler personally. What about you?
Yeah, it's tough because it's two pretty good defenses that these guys are playing against. Like I know people aren't sold on the Broncos, but their defense looks really good. So, and like you said, Cleveland's defense is tough. I'll go Deontay just because Deontay makes plays, and that's a divisional matchup. So narrative wise, it's always fun to watch the Steelers and the Browns beat up on each other, but that could be a low scoring game. So, you know, you're hoping Deontay just gets a lot of catches because that's his MO.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. All right. Next one. Ref Sex, Clockster. Okay, I'm out supporting. I appreciate the support.
Appreciate you, man.
The support. Austin G. I lost Andrews and have no backup tight end. Would you trade Saquon for Evan Ingram and Rashid Shaheed? I also have Jonathan Taylor, Swift, and Herbert.
No, I'd rather stream tight ends than trade Saquon. That's not enough. Even with the state of the Giants right now, that's not enough for Saquon.
Yeah, I don't know if I could do it just off of principle, man. Just the name in general. I don't even know if I could just trade Saquon. Like, can you imagine like anyone looking at that trade like after the fact, like 5 years from now, like you traded Saquon for Evan Ingram and Rashid Shaheed? What exactly was happening in this moment that made you do that? And I just don't think it warrants it necessarily. I mean, I don't know. Like you said, you have Taylor, Swift, and Herbert, so I get it. You have running backs that you like and trust and have been kind of productive, but I don't know. I think that Saquon, even with all the struggles they've had, has still had, before last week, he had like every single week. I think every single week this season's been a double digit, except maybe two of them.
Yeah.
And I know he's also been hurt, so he was out some, but I think he's still being productive. You can still trust him. I don't see any reason why you need to bail on him. Again, I don't mind streaming tight ends. There's plenty out there to make sense of each week. We already know, like, if you don't have the top guys, it's already kind of just a roll the dice anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're not going to get one of the elite guys, like, if you change Evan Ingram and stuff here to like McBride or somebody, would you do it, Brian, or you're still out?
If you can get me a top 5 to 7 tight end, sure. Like if you can give me Dalton, but I don't like Rashid Shaheed that much to trade. Like I would so much rather have Saquon over Khalil Herbert, right? Like, and Evan Ingram has been fine, but he's not. I mean, he's not doing anything to warrant. Especially, just think of it from a positional scarcity point. I would so much rather have Saquon on my bench than Evan Ingram in my starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just, especially as we get closer to the playoffs, you need that running back depth way more than you need a mid-range tight end one at best. So
Yeah, I
go
agree.
stream somebody like Tyler Conklin. Go stream like I know they already played, but like an Herb Smith will probably be a better option down the
Yeah, I mean,
line.
you got tons of decent
Like,
options out there in general, like Luke
yeah,
Musgrave, Logan Thomas in some leagues is still
yeah.
available for people to stream. I mean, there's just a bunch of guys out there who are
Tyler
decent.
Higbee could be a good option now that Stafford's back.
Yeah,
You know,
Cade
like,
Otton
yeah.
has had some weeks.
Go check your stuff if Pat Fryermuth is there because he just got activated off IR. I know a lot of people didn't hold on to him during that stint, so I'll take the shot on Fryermuth. But I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't trade Saquon in this situation.
Me neither. Shout out to you though, Austin. Hope you figure it out, my man. Bulls fan, thanks for the advice last week. No problem. Thank you for coming back and thanks for just participating. We appreciate it. Hopefully you won. Would you start Njoku or McBride this week? McBride for me.
McBride. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a good question, but I feel safer with Trey.
Yeah. Kyler's got me excited too, man. So I can't lie. I'm excited about the pass catchers.
Yeah, it's good to see Kyler back. It's good to see Kyler back.
And then no Deshaun Watson now and Njoku. I don't know if that's better or worse for people, but I'm not excited about it personally. But Njoku's been good. I mean, he's been, and
consistent. DTR is young. He'll be looking for Njoku. But yeah, I mean McBride is very obviously Kyler's.
Did you see RG3's video asking the Browns to sign him?
No, I didn't. Why would he leave his cushy booth job? Don't do that, RG3. You're good in the booth, man. Don't do that.
Eric's half point PPR. Puka or Swift and flex. Running backs are Brees and Pollard. Wide receivers are Garrett Wilson and Devonta. Should I roll with that or make changes? I actually like the way you have it. I would flex Swift probably, in my opinion.
It's Swift for me too.
Yeah, he's playing KC. They're definitely, beatable and scoreable against. They're not the worst defense, but they're definitely
they're
beatable.
Like mid-tier, they're middle of the road.
But Puka, I mean, he's been the last 2 weeks, 2 games that they've played under 10 fantasy points. Stafford's coming back from injury. Things just haven't been as hot lately. So if you're starting him, you're kind of rolling the dice a little bit and saying that you believe he's going to bounce back big time this week. So it's up to you if you feel that way. But I don't personally. I like the way you have it set up. Sebi, I want to say. Jordan Addison or Devonta Smith or Tank Biddell. Start 2. So we get 2 out of this one. I think for me, it's Smith and Dell.
Dude, congratulations. These are nice. It's Smith and Dell for me. I'd love to flex Addison if you can. Excuse me. I love Jordan Addison this week, but I don't love him more than those other guys. Like that's a really good problem to have.
And Addison's playing Denver this week, so it's
and so he may get he's going to get the Surtain treatment because Jefferson's not back. So and KJ Osborne is back too. I
had a team this week that I took out Addison out of my starting lineup and put in Nico Collins once he got cleared. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. It's like I trust Nico against Arizona with CJ Stroud more than I trust Addison right now against Denver, potentially getting that treatment, like you said. It's just a little more, not as comfortable for me. So
it's a little more palatable. Like I'd so much rather lose with Addison on my bench than like Dell on my bench. Like it's what risk averse, like which way do you want to go, right? Like how think about it. If you lose, what's the most palatable way to lose?
Right. Exactly. Got an interesting question here. In a bad spot is from Sean M. Need a Hail Mary. Who?
Okay.
So he's just not giving as much there, but he, I don't know if he just wants us to throw out players' names that are Hail Marys or if he has potential players that are free agents available for it.
Yeah. I mean, Rashid Shaheed, Khalil Shakir, I don't know, like Rico Dowdle, however you say his name. Like, those are like those lottery tickets that could pop off. But not giving me much else, Sean.
We're not sure what else he has. But I mean, I think you mentioned earlier to me off air, you had a Reed question, Jaden Reed. Like he's a potential like Hail Mary, right? Like he has.
Yeah, Jaden Reed. I love Jaden Reed. I have him in a ton of leagues. So if you can pick up Jaden Reed and you need a lottery ticket, that's a good one. Good call.
Yeah. And then we talked about Ty Chandler earlier. He kind of be like a Hail Mary where, you're just hoping he goes crazy and gets, the all the work over, Madison has come back from a concussion. So that's kind of a Hail Mary if he's available for you. So there's some guys without knowing much context here. That's some of our answers for that, Sean. Thor Bear, I like the name. Non PPR, Flex Swift or Dell. Damn, that's a tough one, dude. Damn.
Man,
Non
congrats.
PPR, I mean, that's gonna affect this, I guess. That's the split here for us.
Dude, that is
Swift.
tough.
Is it Swift?
I think it's Swift
Yeah.
just based on the game. I think that's purely a matchup thing. That's probably going to be more of a slugfest than Houston, Arizona, but I've been wrong about that plenty of times. So yeah, it's Swift barely, but
yeah, especially because I mean we've been relying on a lot of targets for Dell.
Yeah.
So if we don't have all those catches, it certainly brings down some of the points that we kind of project for him out there. Then you're hoping, just for a touchdown. Well, it's not crazy just to expect a touchdown from him because he's had 3 in the last 2 games, I think. So
yeah,
that's not crazy either. This is a great great problem to have.
Yeah, if you can get them both in your lineup, please do it.
Exactly. If it was PPR, I don't know.
If it was PPR, I may lean Dell, but it's tough. That's a good question. So
yeah, Jay said just saw Noah Brown out too. Dell it is.
Dell
yes,
it is.
We talked about Noah Brown being out. All right. Sean M said wide receiver room is torched. Need to start one. JSN, Watson, or Quentin Johnson. This is an interesting group, right? Like, I think I've talked about some of these guys. First of all, I don't like Johnson really much at all. I know people will like try to be excited about him because they drafted him in rookie drafts, and he was a high end wide receiver in the draft. And people want to be excited about him. I have nothing to be excited about with him really that much. So he's out of this.
His quarterback is Justin Herbert. That's pretty exciting.
Is it? He hasn't done anything.
Yes.
He hasn't done anything. Like, I mean,
well, no, I know, but that's because Johnson keeps dropping the ball. It's not. That's not a Herbert problem. It's a Quentin Johnson problem. I think I'll probably go JSN here.
Yeah, I would go JSN.
I think Lockett's gonna play, but he's banged up. DK's banged up. They need a third wide receiver, and the weeks that Geno goes off, he finds all 3 of those guys. So
yeah, and like I would love to say Watson, man, but like he's done nothing all year either. Like,
no, and he gets hurt every game. He and Jalen Waddle. I think we could start doing a tally of how many times they go to the bench to get looked at for an injury and come back per game. Like it's got to be, the line's got to be set at like 3.5 times. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's been absolutely brutal for him.
Yeah.
Inflective, shout out, returning guest here. Appreciate you, man. Javonte Williams, Breece Hall, D Swift, pick 2. Wow. Woo. You definitely are stacked there, my friend, and you are in a dilemma.
That is crazy.
Let's see. Breece is playing Buffalo. I don't know if this is PPR or not. I guess it doesn't matter. Javonte's playing the Vikings. He's been hot lately, really hot. And then Swift, who we've talked about a few times already, he's playing KC. I would say, like, out of these guys, and it sucks to have to pick one, I would have to sit Swift probably.
Yeah, I would sit Swift too.
He's had less, big games. He's playing KC, who's not, again, they're pretty good up front. So I would, have to sit Swift. These are those questions where it's like, man, it sucks to say anything. Like, you hate saying sit Swift. Like, it even just sounds silly. But
this is again me being like, please play them all if you can.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I'll sit Swift. Javonte is just the workload is obscene, and then Breece Hall is Breece Hall. I mean, when he's healthy, he's maybe a top 3 running back in the NFL. So
exactly. And again, guys, if you're watching, like this episode. Like it, blow the likes up. Let's get them things even higher than they are now. Let's hit 20. Right now we're at 18. Let's get up there. Let's hit 20. And if you haven't subscribed to the show, please go ahead and subscribe. Just subscribe, man. We really appreciate the support. We love you guys being here. We love you guys being in the chat. You guys can feel free to jump into the conversation in the chat, not just ask questions. You guys can actually be a part of it. By the way, I just ended the poll that we had up for do you trust Chase rest of the season without Burrow? In 26 votes, no was 73% of it, man.
Dang,
so people do not trust him going forward.
It's more like people don't trust Jake Browning going forward.
Yeah, well, that's what I should say. Yeah. Give me another poll right now, Brian. Let's go. One more poll to wrap up this shit before we wrap the show.
Okay. I'll do it selfishly as a start set. Do we start Brian Robinson or do we like Derrick Henry this week? I would like to hear from the squad in the chat.
I'm gonna put starter, sit, pick 1. Anything you need at PPR? What is it? Anything?
PPR. Okay. And I'm just starting from scratch.
Brian Robinson Jr.
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry.
Which never thought we would have to have this start sit question, but we're here.
All right, guys. There should be a new poll popping up there for you guys to jump in there. We love the interaction. We really appreciate you guys. All right, next question. Man, we got tons of questions. First of all, Fantasy Blitz, good morning. Good morning, to you as
my
well.
friend.
Shout out to you. Kyle Singer, Davis, Cooks, Madison, Ford, pick one running back, one flex. Picking Ford as the running back, no question. Now it's Cooks or Davis, basically, right? Or no, we could also pick Madison technically. I'm not picking Madison as a flex. So, man, Cooks went off crazy. So let me ask you this. Cooks went off crazy last week. Obviously, we not necessarily going to expect him to like repeat something like that because it was just, a ridiculous game for him and he hadn't done it all season.
Yeah.
But they are playing Carolina. Do you feel like when a player has a week like that, it's going to, Dak Prescott's going to trust him more? The coaches are like, we got to get this guy more involved. Or do you feel like it's a one-off situation?
I think there's so many playmakers in that offense. It's hard to say something will be consistent outside of CeeDee Lamb. And given the matchup where they could put up 40 in the first half on the Panthers. I know that's a little exaggerating, but is it? So I think, I think I would go with Ford and Gabe Davis, honestly. Just like I love Brandon Cooks, but I don't know about the consistency here. Because you have Ferguson, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Pollard should have a great day. So give me Davis just for that big pop upside, and Ford as the running back.
Gotcha. Yeah, I kind of like Cook would be a cool gamble, but Davis for me is just my guy. And I want to see Cooks do it a little more. I mean, even Davis, you could be like, well, Neil, he's super inconsistent. No, I agree with you, but he still has had weeks multiple times where he pops off. So I'll just take a guy who's proved it a little more this season. If the Cowboys end up trusting Cooks more and they give him the ball more, great, cool. But for right now, I gotta wait to kind of see it.
Yep.
All right, guys. As we keep answering these questions, come on, let's get these likes up to 20. Let's go. Come on. 20 likes. And I also see you guys answering the poll. I'm going to wait to talk about the results of that one. But let's get those likes up over 20, guys. Adrian, Jacobs, Henry, Brees, PPR, pick 2.
Jacobs and Brees.
Yeah, Jacobs and Brees. It sucks that we're at this point with Henry where it's like...
Yeah. It's not his fault. It's not Derrick Henry's fault. He's still Derrick Henry. It's just the Titans are not good. Like that offense is just tough.
Yeah.
Because you have Mike Vrabel's a great coach, but he doesn't know how to like run or pick an OC. It's not his bag. So
yeah. And Jacobs and Brees are going to get tons.
They're top 5 guys.
Yeah.
They're top 5 running backs. So
yeah. Michael Brown, I need to drop 2. Which 2 players do you feel are the best to drop out of these options? Quarterbacks, Howell, Dobbs, and Murray. Wide receiver, Lockett, Ridley. Running backs, James Cook. 1 quarterback league. So he has to drop 2 players.
Yeah, Michael Brown, if you can come back and tell me why you have to drop them, I'd love to know. But I mean, shoot. Sorry, sport. We're far enough in. The algo won't get me. I would drop. I think you can drop Dobbs,
so
which
Dobbs
is
and Ridley.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to, I think those are the easiest ones. Yeah. Well, you could, I guess, drop Dobbs and Howell or Dobbs and Murray. Like, you don't need 2 quarterbacks, I guess.
We don't know the rest of your roster. Like, we need to know, like, wide receiver.
Because if you're, like, if you can start or if you can drop Calvin Ridley, what are your starting wide receivers looking like? Same with James Cook. But don't drop running back depth. Don't drop a starting running back at this stage of the game.
And if this is a 1 quarterback league, like, you don't need all these quarterbacks. Like, you just don't.
You can, I love Josh Dobbs for the rest of the season, but you don't need him in comparison.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue to drop 2 quarterbacks, but then again, what happens if someone gets injured?
When somebody gets hurt, they're both gone off waivers.
Yeah, so. And I don't know what your waiver situation looks like as it is, like how the quarterbacks look right now. So, like, are there other good quarterbacks sitting out there? Is it dry? I have no clue. So, but it's a good question. Fantasy Blitz also said big play Gabe always.
I like it.
Michael Brown, again, another question. He said also pick a flex for today: A-Chain, Addison, Lockett, Ridley, or James Cook. And this is PPR, he said. Now, we've talked about Addison. We've talked about Lockett. He is playing.
Yeah.
We haven't talked a lot about Ridley. James Cook. We have talked a lot about James Cook. And then there's A-Chain, who we've talked about earlier today. Yeah. We said, if you're willing to gamble, if you want to take the risk, it's his first week back after a long hiatus. He was on fire when he left. If you think that he'll be on fire when he comes back, I mean, listen, before he left, he had 51, 27, 22. He was going crazy, Brian.
Yeah, he was going nuts.
He was going crazy.
It's really tough, man. Yeah, I kind of like A-Chain. I think out of these guys, it's like between A-Chain and Addison for me. Even as the James Cook truther of the group. But yeah, screw it. Let's go A-Chain. Let's
Yeah, I
let's
think
go
it's
for the
fun.
upside. Let's go be the hero. Be the
It's
hero
fun.
today.
It's fun to get crazy and roll with A-Chain.
And it's
But
fun to, like, it makes watching those games more fun. Like A-Chain
yeah,
is a fun player to watch, so
yeah,
there is that aspect of it too.
yeah. And then if you don't want to get crazy and you just want to play it safe,
Then I
not
think it's
gamble,
Lockett.
then I don't know. Is it
Lockett or
Lockett?
Addison. They're probably the safest.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because like Ridley, I don't know what's going on in
I
Jacksonville.
hate hamstring injuries for wide receivers. That's like my only thing. I can't stand the hamstring
Yeah.
because like they can go out for one route and then all of a sudden they call blame and it's like they're
Yeah.
out for the rest of the game. You know what I mean? So like I'm not crazy about that situation.
Yeah.
Addison's healthy, right?
Yeah, Addison's healthy. So I mean, and look, it should be James Cook, but
Yeah.
you can't trust what Buffalo is going to do with him. So like that's frustrating. But James Cook had 100 yards last week, so there's no reason to not start him outside of the coaching staff in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So I say, use this week to see what the new OC does. Maybe James Cook will finally be unlocked, but I think A-Chain or Addison, but
Yeah.
A-Chain I'm leaning that way.
Yeah. A-Chain also. Roger says, should I start Pacheco, Ty Chandler, or Herbert? I feel like we haven't had Pacheco questions like in a long time.
Yeah. I think everybody just starts him now. I think he's just like kind of become an auto start. He's not sexy.
Place.
He's not the sexy start, but yeah, I think I'd go Pacheco for sure.
Yeah. He's the least.
It's a good question with Ty Chandler and Herbert being back because I think Donta Foreman's out this week.
No, I think Foreman's playing.
Is Foreman playing?
Yeah.
Okay. I know he was banged up. So, that also throws a wrinkle into the Herbert situation. So, Pacheco's going to get probably 80% of the backfield work at least.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll start Pacheco.
Yeah. Again, it's perfect situation. Pacheco, safe, tried and true, or you want to go crazy, Ty Chandler. Again, total risk reward type play. Could go crazy, could end up being really nothing.
You could be the hero. But
yeah. Who Dat Nation, half PPR, Breece Hall, Javonte, Devontae, Debo, Hollywood. Pick 2.
Oh, this is a filthy little joint right here. This is tough.
Yeah, that's nasty, man. You're just dirty. Is this real? Who Dat Nation? Is this
yeah,
real,
dude?
man?
What are you? Is this like a 6-team league? Like, good for you with that roster, man.
What are you trying to do to us?
Yeah, dude. Okay.
I'm just gonna say Breece Hall and Javonte, and like
it's between. Yeah, it's like Breece for sure, and then I'm flipping a coin between Javonte and Debo. But I'm gonna go with Javonte probably just because of the workload.
Yeah, my boy Devontae, I can't ignore him either here.
No, look, I love Devontae Adams. I will always love him, but like, we just got to see. What I need one more week with him and O'Connell like doing it. But yeah, I think Hollywood's like the easy no go.
Yeah,
Devontae I think is an easier bench than Debo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Hall and Javonte both have like top 5 upside this week.
Yeah.
So.
And Devontae just hasn't had a touchdown in so long. Like I need to see him get a touchdown again, man. All right. Who Dat Nation? I felt like a setup, bro.
Yeah.
M-Dab.
He's gonna come back and be like, how did you guys mess this one up?
Kyler or Josh Allen this week? You just talk a bunch of crap about the Bills. If I hear you say Josh Allen.
Okay, I didn't talk crap about the Bills. I talk crap about the Bills coaching staff. I'm not talking crap about Josh Allen.
What if I told you that Josh Allen played the Jets in week 1? He had his worst game of the season.
What, 3 INTs that week, right?
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I think I'm gonna go Kyler. I think I'm going Kyler this week. I'm gonna get nuts with it. Let's do it, man. I will.
You're gonna go crazy.
I'll die on this hill. That's fine. Like, also remember, there is a world where this OC change is even worse for the Bills, right? Like, we don't know what this offense looks like this week. So, kind of wait and see with it. But since you have Kyler and Kyler's healthy against the Texans, like, it's not a bad matchup.
So like a sane person says Josh Allen, right? Like
yes, but
that's the route.
Look, I mean, if you want to play the hero,
think this, you say Kyler.
Hey, play the hero. Play Kyler. I'll send you a challenge on it right now. Like I will. I'm not super confident.
I love Kyler.
I love Kyler this week. And it's the Jets, right? So
yeah.
I mean, you're not crazy for benching Josh Allen against the Jets. But go Josh Allen just so that way I don't look completely insane. But if you start Kyler, I like starting Kyler this week. So
yeah, but
because look, in a vacuum, Kyler still, if he had been healthy all year, he would be a top 6 quarterback. Like, I'm pretty confident saying that.
Yeah.
So I don't think,
No,
you
yeah, it's
have
not
2 top
crazy.
5, top 8 guys at the
Yeah,
position.
no, it's not crazy.
So
It's not crazy.
that's all I'm saying.
It's not crazy. But I do like Josh Allen more. It's Josh Allen, man.
It's Josh
If
Allen.
you come back next week and Kyler had a better week than Josh Allen, it's party time, man. It's party time.
Then I will feel vindicated if that happens. But
Also, with the guy who set us up earlier, he said he had eight trades, and he said my roster is stacked 9-1. Yes,
No,
it definitely is stacked, sir.
no kidding, man.
Definitely is
Congratulations.
Definitely is stacked. All right, damn, there is a lot of questions. All right, Braden Davis, full PPR. Do I flex Romeo Dobbs or Madison? I'm just gonna say Dobbs.
Dobbs.
I'm not playing with Madison off of concussion, and I don't
Nope.
even like him as it is. So hopefully Dobbs can, pull it out for you, man. He's playing the Chargers, not a bad matchup. He's the better wide receiver in the offense, so
Sure.
roll with that. Hamid, Chechi, Rice, or Cooper? Cooper obviously has a new quarterback because Watson is out, but do you care?
Yeah. No, I'm still gonna go with Amari on this one. Yeah, give me the old tried and true.
Yeah, it sucks that Amari has to keep dealing with this kind of stuff, but
Yeah,
he's fine. Like he's gonna do good.
he's Amari Cooper. He's a vacuum. He catches everything. So
yeah. Rice has a pretty decent matchup. Rice has been consistent. Rice has had double-digit weeks since like week 5.
yeah.
So
No,
he's been
you
pretty
can't
good.
really go wrong. I think the Steelers are beatable in the secondary. So I think DTR
Yeah.
can. Well, if Cooper has one big play, your day
Yeah.
is feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Bulls fan, thanks. No problem. Thank
You
you.
bet,
We
man.
appreciate you as well. And again, we're over 20 likes on this video, so I gotta hit some more air horns. Gotta hit some more air horns, man. Of course. And now let's see what else we have here. Michael Brown, Kyler versus Houston, Howell versus Giants, or Dobbs versus Denver. I think we answered his question earlier, which was basically this question, but Kyler versus Houston. Oh, actually, we didn't answer this question. No,
he asked us which one he would drop.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at those matchups. Look at those matchups for those guys too.
Yeah, those are juicy. Give me Kyler. I think it's
Yeah.
Kyler just because I don't think Sam Howell's gonna have to throw that much. I think it'd be Howell most other times, but he's not gonna need to do it this week.
He's been going crazy. He only had 10 points against the Giants earlier this season, though.
Yeah.
And the Giants defense to me is underrated. I know people don't like to hear it. They're like, what are you talking about? They suck. But their defense actually isn't terrible, man. It really isn't. Like, they're pretty okay. If they had a good offense, their defense would be getting a lot more credit.
Yeah.
Hamid Chechi also asks Hurts or Dobbs. Hurts. Love Dobbs, but
yeah, I like where your head is at, but Hurts.
Thorbear also answering our question earlier said, thanks, guys. Can't get both Swift and Bell in the lineup.
Okay.
AJB Diggs, Monte, A-Chain for the other starters.
Yeah, I get it, man.
He's rolling A-Chain.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could
and Monty
put Swift in over A-Chain.
Yeah,
but yeah, no,
he's rolling with the upside.
Yeah, I get that
over the because
that's a heck of a starting lineup. AJB and Diggs, that's nice.
Roger, Pacheco, Herbert, or Chandler.
Pacheco,
and also should I start Hollywood over Tank Dell, Garrett Wilson, or Ayuk? I would not.
No, I think Dell, Wilson, Ayuk is a great trio.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with Marquise, but he just hasn't done anything yet.
Just haven't seen it yet this year.
Bruce said B Rob earlier for one of our for your question, probably.
Yeah, for
which let me check that poll and see.
Yeah, let's see what that poll looks like.
Let's see what that poll is saying. Okay, 17 votes. Brian Robinson has 71% of it.
There we go.
Woo!
All right, validated. All right, cool. I don't
man.
feel terrible benching Derrick Henry for the first time, maybe ever. So we're doing it. I'm doing
That's
it.
crazy. As crazy as it sounds, chat. We love you. I love the fact that our chat is the open-minded, forward-thinking. They're like, hey, people who don't think outside the box would just go Derrick Henry. That's
so
what
true.
they would think. But the rival fantasy community is not inside the box thinkers.
No,
They're
we are visionaries. We are trailblazers.
Exactly. We're seeing forward. We're seeing better than this, man. Come on now. I love you guys. I respect the hell out of you guys.
Appreciate you guys.
DBN said, would be good to allow bets on all sides in social challenges.
Yes.
It's an interesting idea, my
There
man.
may be things in the works.
Yes, sir.
Nobody
By
hard
the
to
way,
say.
we also have in-league betting, DB, and I don't know if you're in a league on there, which is also a lot of fun. You can actually bet on the matchups too, since I know you're into these, the matchup betting. You can actually bet on your matchup, like the game you're playing in, plus others in the league. It's a lot of fun. We love all the feedback though, man. For sure, if you're playing on Rival Fantasy right now in any way, shape, or form, You can drop
Give us that
feedback here in
feedback.
the chat, whether you like it, something you don't like, something you want to see added. You could drop it on social at Rival Fantasy. You can follow us on there and comment on there anywhere you want. We love the feedback. We are not some type of closed-minded organization. We think we know everything. We love the community feedback. So thank you, sir. TS, need one flex. A-Chain, Garrett Wilson, or Waddle, PPR. Brian Robinson is my running back too, so I can put A-Chain over him.
Okay. Oof, man. I think this is this is crazy. You guys out here with just ridiculously stacked teams.
Yeah, whenever I'm seeing these questions, I'm like, man, why does my team not look like that?
Yeah, I'm like, where did I go wrong in the draft?
Why do I not have these questions for myself?
Waddle.
What is going on with Garrett Wilson? Is he all good? I know he was
injured. He's going to play, but he's banged up. He's got that elbow thing, which an elbow for a wide receiver is not good, in case you guys weren't aware, because they do use their arms to catch. So I think PPR, I'm going to go Waddle.
He's playing my Raiders. Why do you got to do that, man?
Well, you got two. It's either one. You have two options that are from the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So
for the record, guys,
67% chance you pick against your Raiders here.
This is how dedicated I am to our community. I could have been at this game today, and I chose to be here with you guys. I could have been at the Dolphins.
I told him to go. He didn't listen.
I couldn't let our family down out here, man. So I'm
easy, Vin Diesel. Easy there.
I couldn't let our family down, and I also don't want to see the Dolphins smack the Raiders in person for $600. So I'd rather just watch it for free on TV with you guys.
Yeah, it's a better view on TV. So. But yeah, I think give me Waddle. Give me Waddle in a PPR situation.
Yeah, I think Waddle is the easy choice here. Garrett Wilson, the injury scares me a little bit. He has played through it. Buffalo's a terrible defense. So all these guys are great. Again, this is such a problem, TS. You have such a good lineup. You're making it difficult. Yeah. But yeah, great options here. Honestly, I don't think you can go wrong necessarily. I don't think you're going to come out of the week and go, damn, I wish I didn't do that. But I think you're going to be like, some other guy might have scored more.
Yep.
Dom sings Howell or Hurts.
Hurts.
Caden Abbott, Jalen Warren, or Gabe Davis.
Jalen Warren.
I think we're gonna take Jalen Warren.
Give me Jalen every day of the week, baby.
Safe of a play, but
give me the starting running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jalen Warren.
Yeah. Axis Mythics, full PPR. Would you start Donald Parham or Pat Freiermuth with that? Look, this is a real gritty question.
One. Yeah, this is getting deep.
This is the grittiness. See, you guys with these loaded lineups. Our boy Axis coming in here with some real grittiness,
asking the real questions here.
Yeah. They're all real questions, but this is a real dilemma.
This is tough. I'm gonna go Freiermuth. I know he's coming off the hammy. I know he could re-injure it. Kind of like Quentin Johnson, though. Parham, he's scored some touchdowns, great, but hasn't done much else. So I know Pat's at least gonna get more like between the 20s work, and in full PPR, I'll take that from a tight end. So
interesting. I don't know, man.
You love Donnie Parham.
I might just gamble on a touchdown from Parham.
Yeah.
Pat's playing the Cleveland defense. I want no part of it. He's coming off of an injury. I don't know how they're going to work him in. Pickett's going to get smoked by the defense probably. I'll just take Parham on a gamble goal line touchdown in the end zone.
I hope so, man.
Type of thing. That's where I'm going to go with this one, man. All right, next one. Michael Brown. I got playmakers coming back from IR. Jane.
Yeah.
Lucky you. Jelly of the month. What a name. Jelly of the month.
Love that.
PPR playing ARSB, Keenan, Ayuk, Montgomery, A-Chain, and Barkley. Switch one to Puka. I don't think you do, man.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with
the only one you could argue is Barkley, I think. But I wouldn't. I would keep it as is.
Yeah, I'm fine with Barkley.
Yeah, I like your lineup.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, keep Puka on the bench this week.
Good job, Jelly of the month. You got it locked in.
Yeah.
Inflective, Jay Connor, Barkley, Swift, Henry, pick 3. This is another league, he says, or she says. I don't know. We're not gonna either one way or the other.
Swift and Connor, for sure.
You love you some Connor, man.
I do love James Conner. I just like the work, man. Like he always he gets 10, 15 touches a game. So no one else is running in that on that team. So I think I'm gonna sit Henry.
Interesting.
That's tough, but yeah, I'll definitely start in Swift. I think Barkley's going to have a bounce back week.
Yeah,
So
I think you're right with Barkley, Swift, and Connor. Henry. The reason this is like terrible for me is because I just don't know what the Titans are doing, man. Like
yeah,
I know the Cardinals are going to run Connor. I know Giants are going to run Barkley. I know Eagles are going
exactly.
to run Swift. I just don't know what the Titans are doing anymore. So
I don't think they know what they're doing. I think
yeah,
that's part of the problem. Like, I genuinely am concerned for Mike Vrabel's job. I
yeah,
don't know if he makes it through this year. So
yeah. So that's where I'm at. Jelly of the month. Hold Ty Chandler. Not sure Madison playing or drop to grab Dowell or New England DST on bye since play Giants next week.
okay.
Let me process this in my head. I'm trying to read through it again. Hold
Yeah.
Ty
So it's
Chandler.
basically, does he hold on to Ty Chandler or does he drop Ty Chandler to grab either Rico Dowdle or the New England defense?
Gotcha.
I would.
And they're saying that they're or New England defense on bye.
I wouldn't worry about the New England defense. Yes, the Giants matchup next week is juicy, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
take up the bench spot this week.
No,
Um,
I would say Ty Chandler because like, what if he goes off? Right?
yeah,
Like,
because I think Ty Chandler has a clearer path to RB1 on that team than
yeah,
Dowdle does. Even if Pollard keeps struggling, at best they're gonna split work.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm holding the playmaker. He goes off. You're gonna be glad you kept him. The defense, you could sit there and juggle those all day long.
Yep.
Michael Brown, my roster looks like this. Oh, he's letting us know his roster.
Oh, okay. Because this is
Kyler Murray,
he has to
Dobbs,
drop guys.
Adams,
Yeah.
Waddle, McLaurin, Addison, Lockett, Ridley. Jeez,
Okay.
man.
Yeah. Drop Dobbs and then either Lockett or Ridley. Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. If you want to keep two quarterbacks, that's the route to go for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we answered that one. Dylan. Okay, Dylan. These questions are in depth, my friend. Few start sit full PPR questions. Start one, Hollywood and McBride.
To flex. Oof. I'm McBride. I'm gonna go with McBride
I
there.
know you like McBride this
Yeah,
week,
man. I'm taking Bruce's stance this week. I love me some Trey McBride. So
I mean, again, Hollywood hasn't been bad. Kyler's back, but I'm still gonna wait till Hollywood catches on again.
yeah.
So I'll do McBride as well. Start one running back, one flex. Connor, A-Chain, Waddle.
A-Chain and Waddle.
You're doubling down the Dolphins.
Double
offense.
down on the
You're
Dolphins,
killing
man.
me.
I'm
Guys,
doing it, dude.
please,
I'm
someone-
doing it.
Listen, hold on. New question for the chat. I need to know if my Raiders are going to get smacked today.
Do
Let's
the
ask
Raiders
chat.
lose by less than 14
Start
points?
a poll. Will
What's the line on the Raiders game?
the
right now?
Raiders
What's the
get
line on that game?
smacked versus Dolphins? Chat, don't let me down. Don't let me down, chat. It's a yes or no question. Don't do me dirty.
Yeah,
Don't
dude, the
do me
Dolphins are
dirty.
14-point favorites. So do they lose
It-
by 13 and a half or less?
No, I think it's like the worst. I think it's the biggest line of all year or something too. Like the biggest underdogs of the year
Yeah.
of the season or something.
It's crazy. Yeah,
let's
no, I
see.
like A-Chain and Waddle. Let's get crazy.
Okay.
What are you doing? Where are you going? You starting Connor?
No, I'll go A-Chain and Waddle and get crazy too. But
Yeah.
Connor, if you want to play it safe, Dylan, Connor is a safe play for sure.
Yeah.
Let
Be
me
the hero.
see.
And then 3, 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 flex. Stroud or
All right.
Fields, James
The
Conner,
poll is up.
Ford.
The poll is up, guys.
Singletary.
Don't let me down, rival fantasy community. Don't let me down. I don't want to be depressed. All right, yeah, 3. Okay, 1.
So
QB, 1 running,
Stroud
1
over
flex.
Fields, and then
I'm
James
going Stroud.
Conner, Ford, Singletary, Waddle. So
Okay, so I'm going
Stroud.
Stroud.
for sure,
I'm going
Singletary,
Singletary. Are you?
and then Waddle.
You're going Singletary over Ford.
I am going Singletary over Ford. I think the Cardinals have a weaker front than the Steelers do. That's really all it comes down to.
Okay.
And Singletary the last couple of weeks has been awesome. So
Yeah.
keep that ball rolling.
I'm going to go Stroud, Ford, Waddle. But I hear you. I love Singletary. Again,
Yeah.
There's no bigger Damian Pierce hater than me. So
Yes,
want
we know this.
Dylan Fink. Also, we still like my Ravens to contend this
Oh,
year
yeah.
without Andrews. I'm a Ravens fan, born blood. First year I've seen us have a solid wide receivers and solid backup tight ends, so time to step up. Health is important too. Yeah, man. I think when you have Lamar Jackson and you have some of these playmakers that you have on your offense, that you're still fine. You know, solid defense. Obviously, there's no way to like sugarcoat the loss of Andrews. It sucks and it's gonna be tough. But I'm excited about Likely. Brian's not all in on him, but I am excited about him.
Yeah. No, I think Likely will perform. He's just not Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
But he's good. He's a very
Yeah.
good tight end.
Yeah, so I think you guys are gonna be fine, man. I think
Yeah,
you're still.
I mean, the AFC goes through Baltimore right now. So
Yeah.
I think they're fine. I
Yeah,
think they'll
man.
be
Congrats
okay.
on being a fan of the Ravens, man. I'm a Raiders fan, so it's been struggle
Yeah.
city for me, but Ravens got a lot of hope.
Yeah.
Jose Ramos, I'm back, boys. Shout out to you for returning. Let's go. Hey, listen, if you return, you're getting the air horns.
I read ahead, and that was why I was flabbergasted.
Oh, okay.
Who made this trade?
Just traded Jake Ferguson for Nico. Ooh, good job. I have Chase and Burrow injury worried me, so I want to go with another receiver. No, I respect that, man.
No, it's a great trade. Even not knowing your roster, it's a great trade. Good for you.
Yeah, I mean Jake Ferguson is good, right? Like
Jake Ferguson's a stud. I love Ferguson as a tight end this year, but
Nico,
give me Nico every day, man.
Yeah,
Nico every day.
Again, I'm just not going to value a tight end over a wide receiver.
No, I'll stream a tight end. I will start Tyler Conklin if it means I get Nico.
Unless
Collins
there's like some kind of tight end bonus here that we're missing. I mean, this is just you got to steal Jose.
No, if you got Nico straight up for a tight end, like I give that a B+.
And he already had Kittle, by the way.
Yep, you're good.
You're crushing it, my man.
As long as he doesn't get hurt.
Who Dat Nation? I think he said I got Kyler, Brees, Gibbs, Cup, AJ Brown, Jefferson, Keenan. Stacked, my boy.
Yeah,
Stacked.
man, good for you.
360 AD also said pick 3 PPR, Wilson, Cup, Puka, D Smith. So I'm gonna go Wilson, Cup, Smith.
Correct.
Let's skip Puka.
Same. Agreed.
Jenna. Shout out to Jenna. Pick 1, Mike Evans, Hollywood Brown, or Javonta, full PPR. Ooh, a Mike Evans question. Why'd you have to throw Mike Evans in here?
Yeah, man, you gotta make me pick against Mike Evans like this, man. That's
playing San Fran.
Playing San Fran. But I mean, it's Mike Evans, right? It's like I'm sitting Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think this is where I might go Mike Evans.
Yeah.
I think I'm going Evans over Javonta.
Kills me to say this.
Yeah, that's tough. That is a tough question. But I'm going to go Evans, especially in full PPR.
Yeah. I'm with you with Jenna. If you can get Javonta and Mike Evans in that lineup, let us see the rest of your roster.
Yeah.
I would consider it. Shazuto. I get Diggs and Pacheco, 2024 second. Trade away Dell, Laporta, Brian Robinson. I'm 7-3 and commit as a backup dynasty. All right. So this is a dynasty question. That gets tough. All right. So let's think about this. Diggs and Pacheco and a 2024 second. That's what he's going to get.
Yeah. Trade away Dell, Laporta, and Brian Robinson. I'm not trading Sam Laporta for much of anything in Dynasty right now. Like, he's so valuable. And same with Tank Dell. Like, I love Diggs. I have Diggs in several Dynasty leagues, but we don't know if he's going to try to stick around in Buffalo. And what is he? He's like 30 now, isn't he? 28, 29, 30? Like, he's approaching the age cliff. So I would not make that trade personally.
Yeah.
I love Diggs, but I just don't think I would rather have Laporta and Dell.
So, I mean, Brian Robinson and Pacheco, is that just a wash to you or?
I think Brian Robinson's job is safer than Pacheco's.
Yeah.
Just given like the draft capital.
Yeah.
And how much
better also.
What?
He's performed better also.
Just in general. Yes, he has. And Brian Robinson is just like, he's very obviously the Commander's guy.
Yeah.
Pacheco is very obviously the guy right now, but he's just, that could change at the drop of a hat. So,
yeah.
I think
it really comes down to like, okay, so Diggs and Dell, like no one's going to like say Diggs is not better than Dell. Like we all know
of course not.
Yeah.
Not saying that.
But whether you think, the next couple years of Diggs's, peak or 10 more years of Dell's potential or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so he's got, a lot younger if he goes that route. And then Laporta, Kmet, like I get that we're like, we love Laporta and that we don't like Kmet as much, but I mean, Kmet is still also playing pretty well. At tight end. So it really just depends, man. Like
I like to stack good tight ends in Dynasty for this exact reason, because then you, in a pinch, you can trade them.
Yeah.
But again, Laporta to me, again, this is a spicy little take, but he might be a top 2 tight end in Dynasty right now.
Yeah.
I like Kelsey's getting older. Andrews gets hurt a lot. I think it's like Hawkinson and Laporta are my top 2 tight ends.
I was going to say, what do you think though? If he can somehow convince this person to switch Kmet for Laporta, would you do it?
That one's closer. It's closer. Since you're getting the second back too, I would probably do it. If you're 7-3, that means you're trying to go for a title.
Yeah.
I think Laporta gets you the title more than Kmet does. Makes you more competitive. Pacheco, Robinson, I think in a vacuum, pretty much even. So yeah, if you can convince this person to do Kmet instead of Laporta, I would do it. Even if you have to throw in a 3rd round pick or something.
Yeah.
I think that's a better deal for you.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you could definitely do some variations of this trade to make it make sense. But again, by no way are we pooping on the people you're trying to trade away here
No,
because
no, no,
we
no.
like those guys. So
That's the
you
problem.
could,
This is a
yeah,
big trade. There's a lot of stuff going on.
yeah,
So
it's a lot of stuff happening. Like if you're, I don't know if you could slim it down a little bit, like what exactly you're trying to acquire here. Like what's your favorite part of this? If you really just want Diggs or like what, or I mean, do you like Pacheco that much over Brian Robinson? I'm not sure what you're trying to do.
yeah,
But if it's like Diggs you're trying to get, maybe you do Dell and Komet and just do it straight up for Diggs, like something like that. But
yeah,
that's the only thing I can
yeah. If
see
you can do
now.
like Dell Komet and a third for Diggs in a second,
Yeah,
I would do it.
yeah,
I would
that I
do it.
get. Yeah. All right, cool. Good luck with it though. Let us know. Come back next
Yeah,
week and let us
yeah.
know
Let
how
us
it
know.
goes. Yeah. Yeet Man, Pacheco for Pollard and Dobbs. I'm
No,
here for that.
I
I
don't
might
know.
be here for that. I
You
might be
think
here for
so?
that.
You think Paul? Do you think Pollard's going to turn it around?
I think so. And even if he
It's
doesn't, like, how much worse is he than Pacheco? Totally, for real. Like, I mean,
Yeah, it can't be that. And I mean, I love Romeo Dubs for the rest of the season. I
yeah,
think he's just. I mean, he's the man. Romeo
yeah.
Dubs is awesome. So
Especially if you're gonna start both these guys, right? Like, if you're gonna have to start Dobbs, yes.
yeah, I guess yeah, that's true. And Dubs is a nice bench piece to have at worst. So yeah, you know what? You convinced me, Neil. You convinced me.
Yay! Yay! Next one, Mike Collins, start 2 of Garrett Wilson, Devontae, or Brian Robinson.
Don't hate me, but I'm gonna go Wilson and
Gonna hate
Robinson.
you.
Yeah,
Gonna hate
I'm
you.
gonna go Wilson and Robinson. It's so hard to bench Devontae, but I just B Rob is going to eat today. He's going to get so much work. It's hard to
I'll let it
bench
slide.
that.
I'll let it slide.
You know what? Actually, go Devontae over Wilson just because of the injury. I keep forgetting that Garrett Wilson's hurt and Devontae's not. So that's a good tiebreaker for me too.
Hidden X. Hey guys, should I start Jordan Love or Justin Fields? So Justin Fields, as we said, this is his first week back. It's been a while, man.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Or Jordan Love. Let me just see who they're playing really
I was
quick.
gonna say, who did so Jordan Love, they got the Chargers. Packers got the Chargers. And the Bears had the Lions.
Man.
I still think I'm gonna go Jordan Love.
Mm.
It's love for me. It just again, like remember, Fields' injury was on his throwing hand too. That could get bad today if he hits it on a helmet or something. Like he could be on the bench again. So
Yeah.
Jordan Love, he's. I mean, and again, the Chargers have a pretty bad secondary. So
yeah, no, I'd take Jordan Love too, just for the safetyness of it, because
yeah,
I don't want to see Justin Fields go out there and suck, man.
Yeah.
This is a great name, eh? These nuts. My name is
my name is Jeff.
Send Garrett Wilson and Flowers for Bajan. Lots of trade questions here too. We don't normally get a lot of trade questions. This is great. Trying to get Bajan over here, eh?
See, that's tough. It's tough to move 2 wide receivers for Bijan because I'm assuming you're trading from a position of strength and depth there.
Mm-hmm.
I would do Wilson for Bijan straight up, but I don't know if I would I don't know if I would do a 2-for-1 in this case. I think you're overpaying for Bijan in this scenario.
Yeah, probably are. I mean,
I love Bijan. I love Garrett Wilson. I love Zay Flowers. I don't know what's going on in Atlanta. Nobody knows. Arthur Smith doesn't know what's going on, and he's the coach. So I would not do that. I would do Wilson for Bijan straight up, though, I think.
Just for the record, like overall points in PPR, Wilson has 129.8 or whatever, and Bijan has 131.
Okay. So yeah,
it's
I mean,
it's fair trade.
It's just, I guess it's a question of, do you need a running back more than you need a wide receiver?
Yeah. So it comes down to Jose Ramos. Would you start Stroud over Herbert? I have a lot of bye weeks and I have Nico Collins at the flex. So maybe I should get the stack.
I'm doing it. I literally am doing it in another league. So yeah, I'm with you, Jose. Like we're in solidarity here, man. I'm starting Stroud over Herbert.
I would actually start Stroud too.
Yeah,
it's crazy like that.
Dude, it's NBA Jam rules. He's on fire. Like you don't walk away from the table on a heater.
For clarity, Jose, I'm a Raiders fan, so I have natural hatred for the Chargers. So that could be bias. I love CJ Stroud. That could be some bias, but I think Stroud's a good matchup this week. I mean, they both kind of have good matchups, but I like Stroud. He's been going crazy out here. So I would actually go that way, man. Yeah, like I don't think it's. I know Herbert's been hot, right? Like I know he's doing good as
Yeah,
well, but
Herbert's great.
yeah,
It's not a him problem, but I just
no.
don't trust the rest of his team.
Secco, Lockett, or Warren PPR this week.
Jalen Warren.
Brian is a Jalen Warren homer,
Truther,
folks.
dude. I'm a truther. I'll die on that hill.
He is
Jalen
a
Warren is.
truther.
I'm not gonna say he's better than Najee Harris, but he performed better than Najee Harris. So give me Jay. And Lockett's still banged up. So like you said, there's the risk of re-injury to the hammy.
Yeah, that's
so.
my biggest thing. If that injury wasn't there, I would say clearly Lockett.
Yeah.
The hamstrings just worry me, man. Fields or Herbert?
Herbert.
Now I'm going Herbert.
Herbert.
Good question, Parker. These nuts again. I have Nico, Puka, and Nico in a 14-man.
I think you may have doubled up on one of those D's nuts.
Yeah,
but may have doubled up on D's nuts. But I would trade again. That's just like
I think maybe he's telling us that because of the trade.
Because of the trade question.
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
So I would only trade one of your wide receivers. If you can do like Wilson for Bijan straight up, I'd rather do that and keep Zay.
Yeah.
So
Raj Shah, full PPR. Do I start Gabe Davis or Najee in the flex, playing the best team in the league this week?
Gabe Davis, if you need the upside, then if you're playing the best team in the league, go for Gabe.
Yeah, because I want no parts of Najee against the Browns.
Yeah. I like Najee.
Out, PPR one flex Chandler, JSN, or pick up Reed or more. Yikes. Ooh. That's a good question.
Okay, this might be where I pick up Jaden Reed and start Jaden Reed. Again, like with JSN, I trust JSN, but if Lockett is active, he's competing for targets with Lockett and Metcalf. Yeah. Versus Reed, like we know Christian Watson's not going to play the full game, and
so
like, Reed needs one play to make it worth starting him. So I think I might pick up Jaden Reed for this, but if not, I would go JSN over Chandler.
Man, I want to say Chandler so badly too.
I don't know, man. I just with Madison active, it's hard to do it. So
it is, but I so want to believe it's just a pump fake, and Madison ain't gonna do nothing.
I hope so. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. But
I want to say Chandler so bad, rock out, but I mean the wide receivers are definitely safer. Reed, JSN, flip a coin kind of thing.
Yeah.
I wish Lockett wasn't playing that. I would tell you JSN for sure.
That would be a lot
There's
clearer.
so many things here that could just make this so much more clear with just a one switch. But yeah, for me, it's like Chandler if you want to go crazy balls to the wall, but Reed or JSN could possibly have a big play. Yeah. So maybe Reed.
Yeah.
Zoom start 2 Tank Dell, Lockett, Rasheed, Amari Cooler.
He is.
We should actually call him Amari Cooler.
We should call him Amari Cooler.
Because Amari is just cooler than the receivers.
I mean, you said it, man. You said it. Yeah, give me a Tank Dell and Amari. I think.
Yeah. I think I might say Rasheed.
You got to go Rasheed Rice. You trust him against the Eagles?
I think I don't know, man. I think I might just to say let me see what Amari can do with the other quarterback.
Yeah.
And let me take Rasheed because he's just been so consistent.
I will say I don't have the numbers in front of me. Amari did fine when PJ Walker started, and he did do fine during DTR's first start. Like Amari is just kind of quarterback proof.
Yeah,
we've seen that through his career.
He is.
So I just like Amari for that reason. He's the man, and he's been doing it for like a decade. So
yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. MGJMHK. Half point PPR. Start Mingo versus Dallas, Mooney versus Detroit, Powell versus Denver, or Gallup versus Carolina. This is a
deep cuts.
Yeah,
these are the B-sides.
I respect it though. I respect it.
I'm gonna go Mooney here. I'm going Darnell. He has the most like consistent work out of anyone here. Mingo is great. He's a great athlete, but his targets are not turning into catches. I am a Jonathan Mingo truther. I love him as a dynasty stash.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ever going to start him this season in redraft. So give me Mooney.
I'm kind of feeling Gallup a little bit here, man.
Really? Okay.
I'm trying to think.
I'm worried about a boat race in that Carolina Dallas game.
Yeah.
If Dallas gets up big, it's going to be the Rico Dowdle and whoever their fourth string wide receiver is. Show.
He's just the higher on the depth chart kind of guy. So I'll just take Mooney. Last one here, I believe Hunter Johnson, Ridley, or Addison.
I'm going to go Addison.
Yeah, I'm going to go Addison here too as well. By the way, let me just check this poll really quick. Let me see what it says. I put Will the Raiders get smacked versus the Dolphins. 67% of you put hell yeah. What is your problem? What is your problem?
I bet you're real happy you didn't go to that game now, huh?
What? What is wrong with you guys?
You hate to see it.
Here I am wanting you guys just to be my supportive, good friends. And you just...
Chat's got to keep you humble, man. Stay humble, stay hungry.
18 votes, man. Oh, no, 12 votes. 12 votes. You guys,
we
you
like
guys
it.
let me down.
We like it.
You guys let me down, man. All right, I think that's all the questions that we have for today. It looks like you guys we did this till 12:52, right before damn kickoff.
Yeah, we got 8. I got 8 minutes to check like 10 lineups. So I did this for you guys. Don't forget that.
That's what we do. Okay, listen, let's just do some house cleanup really quick. Follow us at Rival Fantasy, TikTok, Instagram, all those places, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Go to rivalfantasy.com, download the app, create an account, play now. There's lots of fun stuff on there for you. You could follow us, you can play, you can subscribe to this channel, you can like this video, all those good things. Brian, do you have any like parting shots, anything you want to send these folks off with?
Oh, man, go Texans. Jaylen Warren is the best running back on the Steelers, and James Cook is criminally underused by the Bills, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
How about go Raiders? Aiden O'Connell is going to outplay Tua today. So just in case.
I'll take that challenge. I'll take that challenge
I need
all
to get
day.
some challenges out right now before football. So
send it to me. Send it to me. Let's do it.
We are going to go. Thank you again, everybody. We are out. See ya later.